कहते थे लोग जो काबिल नहीं है तू, देंगे वही सलामियाँ। दिल थाम के जहाँ देखेगा एक दिन तेरी भी कामयाबियाँ। करके था कमाल वो आके ज़मीं पे देके जाए आसमां। शाबाशियाँ, 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 शाबाशियाँ।
Good morning, all of you. Good morning.
सच होने की खातिर जो सपने कीमत मांगेंगे, चाँद तेरा दे कीमत भर देना। जब नजदीक से देखें तो खुशियों के आंसू आए, तू नजरों को वो मंजर देना। एक दिन मिटाएगी तेरी हजार खामियां।
The class starts with a big thank you to all of you who are so committed to write the chapter-wise exam. Send me the answer sheet in mail, and hope you all have also received the suggested answer from my side. Yes, so many of you have corrected the paper yourself, realized your own mistake, and again messaged me, ma'am, this is my score and this is how I'm doing. So great to know that for all of you. Chapter-wise exams are there every Sunday, as we are not taking any classes on Sunday. So chapter-wise exam this Sunday, it's going to be business hit, covering up MCQs, amendments, question and answers, theory question if any, everything in business hit. Okay, final exam, the weightage is not 50 marks, but chapter-wise exam is going to be 50 marks. And so much happy to see that students are able to complete the exam in the time. So that's very important. That takes a lot of courage to take a printout of the question paper we are putting in Telegram. Answers I'm not giving openly in the Telegram. Otherwise, it will be like, हाँ ये question है answer है देख लिया. Students are not taking the worth of that. That's what I feel. So happy for all of you who are having that courage to genuinely prepare for exam, write the exam. After correcting the papers also, you are clarifying your doubts. This is your own room. Bhar bhar ke galtiyan karna, so that you don't do any mistake in final exam, and you will be so confident because so many chapter wise exams you have written. So then when you get the question on business head, when you get the question on house property, you will be super clear how to read it, how to write it, how to solve it, right? Okay, chalo, let us begin now. Today, acha, one more announcement. We are starting GST classes also in the evening, but that's not going to be live in YouTube. It will be on Zoom. recordings. Those who want, they can buy it in Concept Classes app, and those who want to attend it free without paying any charge should attend live classes of GST 6:30 to 8:30, starting on every alternate day from tomorrow, Wednesday. So make sure you, if you want to join the batch, you will be given maybe by today 5 o'clock, you will get the form to be filled up. When you fill up a form, you will get the Zoom meeting and you can attend it live. Yes, GST for CA, CMA, CS Inter, all the students. No fees for those who are attending it live every day. Those who want to take recorded classes can take it at a very nominal charge from the app. That's what is decided. And after the direct taxation, we are in the midway right now. So after the direct taxation is over, costing classes are going to be all, costing fast track batches going to be full free in YouTube. Yeah, along with the costing compiler also. So these were the two announcements. Prepare super well for the upcoming chapter wise exam. Every day, whatever you're studying with me, are you revising after the class, after your lunch? Just half an hour if you brush up. See, like yesterday we did 3 concepts: slum sale, then 50C stamp duty, and then advancement. I don't think it was a fast track. That's what I feel. Yesterday I taught you the concept. I made you write the booster note. Again, we have applied it and solved problems. Again, I revised it at the end. So much of revision we are doing, right? Today, directly, I want to start with the last but important aspect of the capital gain, and that is exemptions. Sale consideration, less expenses related to transfer, you get the net sale consideration, less the cost of acquisition, cost of improvement, you get the capital gain, long term or short term. This is the capital gain, short term or long term, on which you have to pay tax. But if you make some investments and you satisfy certain conditions, then capital gain up to that limit is exempt. For example, I've sold a house nearby to OU. I stay in Hyderabad. So I've sold the house here. But with the same amount, I have purchased the house in Banjara Hills. So now whatever I have sold the house, if I have reinvested, or I have sold the house, but I've put the money in bonds, in specified mutual funds like this, what are the conditions we will see? Is the purpose of exemption clear or not? Okay, this is your long-term capital gain, 1 lakh. But if you have reinvested, then capital gain or investment, whichever is lower, that will be exempt. Keep patience. I hope now you know Dipti ma'am goes very slow in the concept. So while we are learning the exemptions, we will go slow, vertically, one after another. मैम फिर याद कैसे रहेंगे इतने सारे exemptions? I'll make you learn from left to right. And 1 or 2 exemptions, I think 54 GB, I'm leaving. Because it has so many, then in-depth, more conditions and all, better not to take that. Okay, I got to know about your doubt, but can we keep it pending? Remind me at the end of the class, this doubt is related to house property. Yeah. Either ask the doubts ekdam initially when I'm giving the instructions. Now we are in the mode of capital gain. Let us finish. I will wait. Whatever are your doubts for the basic exam, for the house property, what you are asking is a very nice doubt. For unrealized rent, I'll surely clear it. Okay? But at the end, मुझे पक्का याद दिलाना. चलो. So parking of exemption is clear. Directly come to your exemptions page. And let us start now with vertical exemptions. Okay. Section 54. Section 54. It says what, you know? Advance money forfeited. I have worked out the same problem in different ways. Yeah. Were you able to do the homework? Similar problem, advance money forfeited, stamp duty. Who can claim the exemptions? Individuals and HUFs. On which capital gain? Long term. What asset you have to sell? Residential house property. What the taxpayer should purchase? Residential house property. What is the time limit for acquiring? 1 year backward. Yeah, you might have purchased the new house pehle, and then you have sold this house. Will it do? I hope you're getting. 22, I purchased a new house with the bank loan because I was getting a very good house at offer and of my choice. And after 1 year, I got good customer and I sold my house. So from the date of sale of the house, 1 year backward, pehle you have purchased a house, or 2 years forward, you have purchased the house, or 3 years forward, you have constructed a house, then you are eligible for exemption. Are you all with me? One full class we will complete exemption, then working out the problem, and most important, which is asked nowadays, if you check last MTPs of CA exam, they are full key. If exemption is revoked, what will happen? Yes, CMA exam also, at least like these three are तो very very important if you want. मैम फिर यही पढ़ेगा तो चले, अरे ऐसे मत करो, हाँ ऐसा नहीं है, सब पढ़ना है, but you can mark it that these are the ones repeatedly asked weightage wise. Okay, chalo, let us begin now. Individuals and HUF getting long-term capital gain on sale of residential house, buying a residential house, purchase 1 year backward, 2 years forward, construction 3 years forward, from the date of transfer, and if it is compulsorily acquired, then from the date of receipt of amount. See, if the house is compulsory acquired in 2017, can I invest at other place in 2017? Answer is no, right? So then if I get the money of the compulsory acquisition on 2023, then 2 years from 23 I can purchase the new house. Is that clear to all of you? Right. How much is exempt? Investment in new house or capital gain. This concept I want to clear. Say sale consideration is 50. Index cost of acquisition is say 40. Capital gain, long-term capital gain is say 10. And now investment in new house is 15. I hope you are getting. You have sold the house, index cost you have deducted, you are getting capital gain, and now you have invested 15. Huh? So exemption under 54. Okay, let me tell you one thing. Exemptions cannot exceed capital gain. You cannot say, ma'am, capital gain is 10, investment is 15, 5 is loss. No. Capital gain or investment, whichever is lower. So here how much exemption you will get for 54? 10. What will be the taxable long-term capital gain? Nil. Easy and clear to all of you, right? So you are selling the house, you are buying the house 1 year backward, 2 years forward, construction 3 years forward, right? Okay. And then exemption is investment in new house or capital gain, whichever is lower. Here note 1 may I have given some amendments. I'll read it for all of you. Is it possible to revoke the exemption? Revoke means cancel. Answer is yes, if the new asset is transferred within 3 years. I've sold the house in OU and I've purchased the house in Banjara Hills. I have claimed exemption. Then that second house, I should hold it for at least 3 years. No, because I got exemption. See, I have sold the house and 10 lakhs is say ये lakhs में है. तो 10 lakh मुझे capital gain आ रहा है. बरोबर है या नहीं? But investment in the new house is 15. So I avail 10 lakhs as the exemption. Now I have sold one house, I have purchased second house. This house I claimed exemption and within 2 months I again sold it. Then what's the benefit of claiming the exemption? When second house you have purchased and you are claiming the exemption, then make sure that this exemption, what you have claimed for the second house, this property you should hold it for at least 3 years. Agreed? Right? So that's about it. If you sell it within 3 years, exemption is revoked. And if it is revoked, it's going to be taxable as short-term capital gain. See, the first house you sold, you purchased second house, you availed exemption. Now second house, immediately if you sell it, क्या होगा फिर? Immediately if you sell it, exemption is revoked. Whatever capital gain was exempt here, 10, that will again become taxable in the year when it is revoked and taxable as short-term capital. Just try to understand the concept. Taking all these concepts, we will work out beautiful problems. Each one will not take more than 7 minutes and you will practice it. Okay? Whether capital gain account scheme is applicable, answer is yes. Now, what is capital gain account scheme? See, I have sold the house on 1st October 2023. Plus 3 years. 3 years time is there from the date of sale of house for construction. Sale of the house के लिए 3 years है. Construction के लिए 3 years है. Purchase के लिए 2 years time from the date of transfer. But before that 31st March 24 year ending will come. Then 31st July 2024. When I file my return in July 2024, I'm saying to department, listen, I've sold the house and by 25 I'll surely purchase, or by 26 I will surely promise I will construct a house. Please give me exemption. So the AO will say, okay, whatever money you have set aside to invest in purchase of house or construction, that you put in a separate bank account, and that bank account say withdrawal is permitted only for the purchase of the house. That is called as capital gain account scheme. Whatever I am saying, is it fitting in your mind? Under section 54, 54 BDFG, capital gain is exempt if such gains are reinvested in the new house. If such investment is not made before due date of filing the return, I want to claim exemption of 10 lakhs. Promise I will buy another house within 2 years. Okay, then for 2 years, put your money in a separate bank account called as CGA scheme. And deposit shall be made before due date of filing the return. Deposit shall be made in an account with a bank or institution approved for that purpose. Return of income should accompany the proof of the deposit. Amount deposited can be withdrawn only for the purpose of purchase or construction. If you withdraw and use it for your daughter's wedding, gone. It will become taxable. If the amount deposited is not utilized, so 2 years may you said you will purchase the house and you didn't, then capital gain shall be treated as capital gain of the previous year in which it is expires. Yeah. For investment in 54 EC, bonds time limit is 6 months from the date of the transfer. For deposit CGS, it is time limit is till due date. Yeah, these 2 points mark it important for problem solving. ये अभी मैंने आपको कराया ही नहीं है 54 EC, but I've just written. Huh? So till what time is the whole scheme clear? Just 2 seconds. Please read on your own these points. अभी पढ़ो. All right. I'll also help you revise. See, we can do it orally. What is 54 saying? Individuals and HUF getting long-term capital gain by sale of residential house property. Purchase the residential house. Time limit of purchase is from the date of the transfer. 1 year backward. Can I buy the new house and then sell the old house? Yes. Or 2 years forward. For purchase, for construction 3 years forward, right? Then the capital gain, whatever you have got, or investment, whichever is lower. Capital gain is 11 lakhs, but you have purchased the house only for 7 lakhs. So 7 lakhs, whichever is lower will be exempt, and then remaining will be taxable. Now this new house which you have purchased, you should not sell it for 3 years. If you sell it, exemption will be revoked. And suppose you are not able to invest in the new house before July 24, that's the due date of filing the return, no one will trust you orally. Okay, no sir, promise sir, I will purchase a house or construct, promise sir. No, you keep the amount in a separate bank account of CGS scheme, not your routine saving account, and withdraw only for the purpose of purchase or construction. Is my revision clear to all of you? When we work out all the problems, it will be very clear. Dekho. Here one addition is there. This is last year's amendment, but very important. If capital gain is more than 2 crore, one residential house can be purchased 1 year backward or 2 years forward and all. If capital gain is less than 2 crore, 2 residential house can be purchased. You know, so many times it happens, no? Father is selling a big house and buying 2 small houses. 4 bedroom hall kitchen ka ghar he is selling, and he is buying single bedroom hall kitchen for 2 of his son. I hope you are getting. So can I sell 1 house and buy 2 house? Yes, it's possible if your capital gain is up to 2 crore. Two residential house can be purchased. Okay, if your capital gain is less than 2 crore, more than 2 crore, then 1 residential house. Purchase or construction 2 residential house, this benefit is available only once in lifetime. You are selling 1 big house, and against that you are purchasing 2 small house. For both you can claim exemption provided capital gain is not exceeding 2 crore. And one very important amendment I have given in bold is for this year. In case of capital gain, section 54 and 54F, exemption can be availed for new house, for construction and all. Upper limit of deduction and deposit is 10 crore. Earlier there was no limit. Are you getting? Suppose my long-term capital gain is coming 11 crore and I have purchased the house 50 crore. Still, how much maximum exemption you can claim under section 54? 10 crore over and out. आपको बात समझ में आ रही है? 11 crore is the capital gain, and you have purchased the house for 50 crore. So capital gain or investment, whichever is lower. So ma'am, 11 crore full should be allowed, no? But from this financial year 23-24, there's a limit which says only 10 crore capital gain is maximum exempt available under 54, और अभी आगे आएगा 54F मिला के. ठीक है? Right. That's all for 54. Anyone is having any doubt, then ask please. Pucho. Chalo. Next now I'll go to the next one, which are just there in the syllabus we should do. We can't leave. तो हम सब पढ़ रहे हैं, but सबसे important कौन से हैं? These 4. Okay, चलो. Now we are doing 54B. Individual and HUF. This time short term, long term कोई भी gain रहने दो. Agricultural, urban land. See, urban agricultural land is very well taxable. It's in the heart of the city. If you are having an open plot and you're doing organic farming, it's very well taxable. If it was used by individual or his parents for agricultural purpose during at least 2 years immediately prior to transfer. So you have transferred agricultural urban land and you are going to buy agricultural land, urban or rural, right? 2 years forward. See, agricultural land you can't construct, you just have to purchase. That's why they have given 2 years forward from the date of transfer of agricultural land. In case of compulsory acquisition, from the date you receive the amount. Ma'am, all this is the exactly same. The language is same. So that's why I'm saying vertically karo. फिर left to right भी I'll show you how it is seen. Investment or new house, or what you are selling, urban agricultural land. What you are buying, urban or rural agricultural land. Investment in new house or capital gain, whichever is lower. Is it possible to revoke? Yes. New agricultural land should not be transferred for 3 years. Otherwise, it will be taxable as short-term capital gain. And CGA scheme is applicable, right? So if you have sold an agricultural land and if you are not able to purchase, then which exam you are writing, CMA or CA? There's a confusion for these amendments, I know. Like some of the amendments which I've taught, I don't know what's the reason they are not being updated in the CMA material, but they are the amendments for financial year 23-24 and they are important. CA material, it's all updated, but CMA even I checked, so there's some confusion. VDA and all, yes, all the amendments are covered. Chalo. So 54 is over. Are you observing we are going little faster than the way we started? Individuals and HUF this time short term and long term sell the urban agricultural land and purchase urban or rural agricultural land within 2 years forward. Why within 2 years forward? Because you just have to purchase the agricultural land, you don't have to do any construction. Next, 54D. Any person, this time not individual, company, partnership firm, anyone, short term or long term. Okay. See, these are very interesting. Later, I'll show you how you can apply two exemptions also. Yeah. What you have sold, land or building forming part of industrial undertaking which is compulsorily acquired by government. Like in Hyderabad, we have Nehru Zoological Park. Okay. So nearby to park, there are so many plastic units, plastic manufacturing units. So lot of, environmental issues are happening that air has become polluted nearby to that zoo. So what government did is the whole plastic units, they have asked them to sell their land and building, and they have shifted the whole industrial park in the outskirts of the city. You sell your land and building here and you shift it in the industrial park where we are giving you land and building. Okay. So when we sell the land and building here and we get the land and building in the new place, am I going to get the capital gain? Yes. So this 54D, ये कब applicable है? When your land and building forming part of industrial undertaking is compulsory acquired by government and at least 2 years you have used that industrial undertaking, right? And what you have to buy in the new premises, again, land and building. Okay. Time limit for purchase is 3 years forward from the date of receipt of compensation. Because 54D is compulsory acquired by government. So, जब पैसे आएंगे, that time we will do. Investment in new house or capital gain, whichever is lower, right? Is it possible to revoke? Yes. Once you sell the land and building in the industrial park and you shift it in the new industrial park, don't sell the second land and building for 3 years. If you sell it, exemption is revoked. It will be taxable as short-term capital gain and CGS is applicable. You have sold here the land and building, but in the new area, you have yet not got your choice of land and building. Then can you put this money in the capital gain account scheme? Yes. Is it clear to all of you? Take your time and ask your doubts if you have any. If you understand my job is done, I will make you learn. It's a promise. मैं आपको लर्न करा दूंगी, प्रॉब्लम भी सॉल्व करा दूंगी. पहले आपको यहाँ तक समझ में आया. What is 54? Sell the house, buy the house. What is 54B? Sell urban agricultural land, buy urban or rural agricultural land. 54D. What is it you have to sell? Land and building, compulsory acquired by government. What is it you need to buy? Same, land and building in the industrial undertaking. Yeah. So many times the whole, there's a center of India in Maharashtra, there's a place called Nagpur, and it is a hub for one of the biggest food grains market. So whole food grain market was very hodgepodge in the heart of the city, and they developed a 4-lane food grain market, and they shifted the whole market outside. Yeah, so it happens. Okay, as I said, exam point of view, 54 is important. 54 EC and EE. These two we will do it together now. Okay. 54 EC and EE is for any person. So it could be individual, HUF, company, partnership, koi bhi. What they need to sell, any long-term capital asset. Now 54 EC is very clear. Sell land and building. And buy what? Bonds. अब 3 टाइप के बॉन्ड्स हैं. नेशनल हाईवे अथॉरिटी ऑफ इंडिया मींस NHAI bonds. You know why the government is encouraging us to buy the bonds? When we are buying the bonds, we are contributing for that highway authority of India. हम उनको पैसे दे रहे हैं for a fixed return. And these highway authorities, they are creating outer ring roads and flyovers and bridges, and they are helping develop the country, right? So you have sold. What have you sold in 54 EC? Any long-term capital asset. Yeah. Land or building. And what did you buy? 3 kind of bonds. Any one. NHAI bonds. ये सब government के bonds हैं. REC bonds. You know, every state is trying to produce their own electricity. Third is the railway bonds. Railway bonds. Clear? Right. Now, 54 double E. Any person. Yes, sold what? Long-term capital gain. Which asset is eligible? Any long-term capital asset. कुछ भी बेचो. Sell anything. And buy units of specified mutual fund. See, like we buy shares in the company, these are units of the specified mutual funds. Time limit is important, dear students. Everywhere it is 2 years, 3 years time. In 54 EC, bonds खरीदना है. 54 EE, you have to buy it what? Specified mutual funds, right? So this requires just a small instructions in your demat account, and you can buy bonds. You can buy mutual fund. So it's 6 months forward from the date of transfer. And in case of compulsory acquisition. So why 6 months time? That should be clear to you. Investment in new house or capital gain, whichever is lower, is exempt. And now the new house is encashed or converted into money. These are bonds and mutual fund if they are converted into money. Or you have taken a loan by giving that security, then that will become taxable as long-term capital gain. अब ये कैसे रहेगा long term? So bonds and all, easily in 1 year they will become long term, no? That's why. Followed? So when you have claimed exemption for long term, Taxable also, long term. Okay. If you want, you can make a pairing. Yeah. Make a pair like this. Hmm? I'll just continue in 5 minutes, not giving a break, but just 2 minutes give me, I'll come back. Very sorry. Keep revising, please. You all have the notes. Yes. Okay. So what we have done until now, we will revise and then we will go to 54 G and GA. Okay. What did I say? 50. You can make a band the way I have made. Like 54 EC and EE, they go hand in hand, dear students. How? This is available to any person. Ma'am, even companies can invest? Answer is yes. So any person, any long-term capital asset, again, like sell land and building and buy bonds. Three kinds of bonds: NHAI bonds, REC, rural electricity bonds, and third kind of bond is railway bonds. Like, see, railways also needing the money, nowadays Vande Bharat and so many kinds of trains are coming up. So you can invest, you can sell the land and building. And it's not, if I sell the land and building, you will say, ma'am, you have sold the building, buy a building, you can claim exemption. Arre, but I don't want to buy a building. Okay, then don't invest. You will have to pay huge capital gain in lakhs of rupees. So for tax planning, can I put my money in the bonds? Yes. Sell land and building, put the money in bonds. Sell any long-term capital asset and put the money in specified mutual funds. Are you getting what I'm doing left to right? 54 EC, sell land and building, buy bonds. 54 EE, sell any capital asset, buy specified mutual fund. Why time limit for purchase is only 6 months? On a phone call, you can book to buy the bonds. So 6 months time is enough. You know why I'm saying put a star mark here is, this is asked in exam. Okay, Mr. A has sold in January 2000. Okay, let us take it 1st November 2023. Okay, and he purchased bonds on say 31st May 2024. Ma'am, he purchased the bonds before due date of filing the return, no? So he should get an exemption. He will not get. From the date A has transferred land and building from 1/11 plus 6 months. 1/12, 1 January, 1 February, 1 March, 1 April, 1 May. Finish. Till 1st of May 2024, 6 months from the date of transfer, he should have purchased. Yeah, right? So if they give in exam 31st May, see, they say, because you know bond so well. Oh, 54 EC, you have sold land and building, purchased bonds. Dipti ma'am thought 54 EC, le lo. Arre, but date of transfer say count the date of investment. There is where the twist and students go wrong. The mistakes also they are doing in the pattern, students. So I'm always making you alert in these booster fast track batch so that you all are careful. Okay, right. From the date of transfer of, नहीं समझ में आया 6 months वाला example देखो, check it and put me a message, all clear or not. Take your time, we've just finished 20 minutes. Even if it takes 1 hour more, I'll make you learn this table. You just have to sit and attend the fast track batch live. That's important. Again, once again, sell land and building and buy bonds. Sell any capital asset, jewelry, property, paintings, sculptures, and buy mutual fund. 6 months forward from the date of transfer, or in case of compulsory acquisition, from the date of receipt of amount. Exemption is investment in the new asset, bonds and all, or capital gain, whichever is lower, if new asset is transferred. Now see, against that you have purchased the bonds. So bond you should hold it for minimum 5 years. Mutual fund के जो units आपने खरीदे हैं, at least you should hold it for 3 years. Against that you cannot give a security and again buy something else. I hope you are getting. You can read it. Any doubt you have, you can ask me. Now, 54 G and GA goes hand in hand. Any person, short term or long term, what you are selling? Land, building, plant and machinery, right? Here also land, building, plant and machinery, in order to shift industrial undertaking from urban to rural area. Does it happen? Sometimes, say example, mine is a paper mill. So for paper mill, huge laborers are required and labor is very cheap in villages. So can I shift from urban to rural area? Here I will sell my land, building, plant and machinery, and there I'll purchase another land, building and plant and machinery. Yes, urban to rural, land, building, plant and machinery. Right? What is the time limit for purchase? 1 year backward, 3 years forward. अब construct तो करना नहीं है. So 1 year backward, 3 years forward from the date of the transfer. There's no question of compulsory acquisition here. So from the date of transfer. How much is exemption available in 54G and GA? Investment in the new house or capital gain, whichever is lower. And the new asset should not be transferred within 3 years. If it is transferred, exemption is revoked. If exemption is revoked, it will be taxable as short-term capital gain. You are getting? You have sold land, building, plant and machinery. See here, one thing very important. I know I'm like scrolling up and down. So anyone just watching this lecture and not having this notes will not help. You also are marking or not what is important. तो पक्का आपके पास ये sheet होना है. This DT PDF compiler already is available in the app also and in the Telegram also. 54G में land, building, plant and machinery, you shift it from urban to rural area. And 54GA में land and building shift from urban area to SEZ. So many people are, involved in just giving, say, services and all. So they will send their land, building, plant and machinery in the heart of the city. And they will shift it in a special economic zone, SEZ ke andar. So that least taxes they have to pay. So can they avail 54 exemption? Yeah, 54GA. What they have to acquire? Land, building, plant and machinery in order to shift the undertaking from urban to rural, urban to SEZ. Time limit for purchase is 1 year backward, 3 years forward. Yeah. From the date of transfer. This new asset, what you have purchased in 54G, you have purchased land, building and plant and machinery in urban, rural area. Here you have purchased land, building and plant and machinery in SEZ. So investment in new house or capital gain, whichever is lower, don't sell it for 3 years. If you sell it, then exemption is revoked and taxable as short-term capital gain. Is CGS applicable? Yes. Now the last one. I know I'm going little slow purposely. Anyone is having any doubt in understanding? Repeat with me. If it is offline class, तो echo में voice आती है एकदम clear. Chalo. Now I'm going to the most crucial, which is so much asked in exam. Once again, I want to repeat, dear students, which are important for the exam. 54, 54 EC and double E, and 54F. I want you to put a star or a crown on 54F because this is different than all the other. This is available for only individual and HUF. Aram se karo. 1 point. Long-term capital gain if they have got by selling an asset. What they have to avail on? Any long-term asset other than residential house property, provided on the date of transfer the taxpayer does not own more than one residential house. So you are selling any long-term capital asset, jewelry, open plot, building नहीं आएगा, land building को छोड़ के कुछ भी sell करो, and that day you should not have more than one residential house. And what you need to buy? another residential house. Now what is this, ma'am? नहीं समझ में आ रहा तो फिर से पढ़ो. देखो, individuals and HUF, long term capital gain on sale of any asset other than residential house. And what they need to buy? Residential house. Now because you are purchasing residential house, what's the time limit? 1 year backward, 2 years forward, construction 3 years forward from the date of transfer of the capital asset. But in case of compulsory acquisition, from the date of receipt. Right? Now here is the important trick. Are you all following? Yeah? Refer note 2, note 1 तो पढ़ा और इसको, because everywhere how much is exempt? Investment in your house, capital gain whichever is lower, and that lower concept I have explained, 10 lakh, 11 lakh. Here there is some formula. We don't understand the formula, so I will use this same space to write. If you want, you can write one example here. Which exemption we are doing, dear students? Can anyone put in the chat box? मैं क्या पढ़ा रही हूँ अभी? थोड़ा सा challenging है to attend capital gain class, and that too this one. But once you know it, it will be super duper clear. Regular class also, one class only I teach this. No point in unnecessarily going on for 4, 5 days. Because you have to write ultimately all exam for 50 marks. चलो फिर से करते. What you have sold, any asset. What you are purchasing, residential house. And you should not own more than one residential house. Now, how the capital gain is given, there is some formula. So for that, let us take sale consideration as 100 lakhs. Index cost of acquisition as 75. Long-term capital gain, you sold say jewelry, 25 lakhs आया. Investment in new houses 60. Now the question is, ma'am, had it been any other, how much is exempt? Capital gain 25 lakhs or investment 60, whichever is lower. Capital gain or investment, whichever is lower. Capital gain or investment, whichever is lower. ये learn हुआ सबको, right? Okay. But here it is not capital gain and whichever is lower. In 54F, you know what they do? Not capital gain or investment, whichever is lower. It is, if you have sold for 100 and your capital gain is 25, why did you invest only 60? You remember in insurance claims, there's a concept called average clause. बस वैसा ही है ये. Average clause के जैसा ही है. 100 कितना हो गया है आपका? Sale consideration. Capital gain कितना आया? 25. And you have invested 60. Why did you under invest? Only proportionate will be exempt. In 100 sale consideration, capital gain is 25. In 60 you have invested, it's how much? So 25 into 60 by 100. $15 will be exempt. I want you to write the example. 15 out of 25, 15, and taxable will come 10. There's one printed example, but ये तो यहीं पे लिखो and ask me, is the formula clear? Ma'am, you didn't teach the formula. Yes, I will. Investment in the new house 60. Divide by net sale consideration 100 multiplied by capital gain. आ गया formula? So don't worry about the formula. Do it logically. Sale consideration is 100. Capital gain is 25. Why did you invest 60? Only proportionate capital gain will be exempt. Write this example and mark that very different and important. 54F. Other than this, can you see this row from left to right? Investment in new house or capital gain, whichever is lower, is exempt. सब जगह एक ही में थोड़ा googly है, and that is 54F. After you finish writing, message me, I'm here only. Once I complete all, I'll give break and we'll work out nice problems. अगर लग रहा है कि रोज से हम थोड़ा स्लो पढ़ रहे हैं तो यू आर राइट, because these are exemptions, we can't afford to go so fast. Yeah, please watch full screen, and because I'm moving the table up and down. Yeah, any doubt or all clear? Put me a message. Right, thank you. See, there is no formula. Average clause भी तो ऐसा ही है ना? Huh? Your stock was 100 and claim was 25. Then why did you take the insurance for 60? When stock was 100, you can't insure for 60. So sum assured के साथ multiply करके proportionate they give. चलो. Now, 54F. Okay, one more condition was there in 54F. It says you sell anything and you buy. Thank you for the response that you all are writing. You sell anything and you buy residential house, but make sure you don't have more than one residential house, because already you are buying one more. Now the time limit says, क्या खरीदा बेटा आपने? घर. So what's the time limit to purchase? 1 year backward, 2 years forward for construction, 3 years forward. From which date? From date of transfer, or from, in case of compulsory acquisition, from the date of receipt of amount. Investment in new house divided by net sale consideration, and so on. Right. If the new asset is transferred within 3 years of its acquisition, or if another residential house is purchased. See, if the new asset is exemption is revoked, matlab what will happen to your exemption will get cancelled? You already had a house, you have sold jewelry, against that you have purchased second house, you can't purchase third house now. If new asset purchased is transferred, this second house which you have purchased, you should not sell it for 3 years. If another residential house is purchased in 2 years, or if another residential house is constructed, I hope you are getting. You have one house, you have sold jewelry, you purchase second house. This second house, you should not sell it for 3 years. Until coming 2 years, don't buy third house. Don't construct third house. This is the condition. If it is revoked, it's taxable as long-term capital gain. And because they give you time limit 2 years, 3 years forward, CGA scheme is applicable. I've literally skipped taking 54 GB. जरूरत नहीं है करने की. चलो. Have we completed all? हाँ, चलो अब पैर बना के याद करेंगे. देखो, what is 54, dear students? Vertical revision. Sell the house, buy the house. What is 54B? Sell urban agricultural land, buy urban or rural agricultural land, but at least 2 years it should be used by SSC or his parents for agricultural process. Not necessary you use it. You can rent it out to farmer. Let the farmer use. But still, you have to sell the agricultural land urban and buy urban or rural. 54D. Sell land and building in industrial park and buy land and building. 54 EC, right? Sell the land and building and buy bonds. Very popular scheme of government. Sell 54 EC क्या था? Sell land and building and buy bonds. 54 EC. What is 54 EE? Sell anything and buy specified mutual funds. Now bonds and mutual funds, the time limit of purchase is how much? 6 months. Okay? Right. And now 54 G and GA. Any person for short term and long term, right? 54G is selling land, building and plant and machinery for shifting from urban to rural. 54GA, land, building, plant and machinery. Shift from urban to SEZ. Clear? Randomly, if I answer, check whether you are able to answer or not. I know some of you are live in Zoom, so many of you are live in the YouTube. Ab dekho. 54. Listen. 54. Sell the house, buy the house. 54B. Sell urban agricultural land, buy urban or rural agricultural land. 54D. Sell land and building in industrial undertaking compulsory acquired and buy. 54D is only land and building. 54G and GA. Sell land, building and plant and machinery and shift from urban to rural. This is urban to SEZ. And now these crucial two ones. 54EC. Sell what? Land and building. Buy what? Bonds. 54EE. Sell what? Any asset. Any. And buy what? Specified mutual funds. Okay, right. 54F. What you have to sell? Any long-term capital asset by individual and HUF. Any. Other than residential house. And what you have to buy? Residential house. Yeah. How much is the time limit in which you have to purchase? 1 year backward, 2 years forward from the date of transfer. And formula they have given. Shall I explain now left to right so that you learn it? And then I'll ask you some doubts before going to break. तो थोड़ा सोच के आना. I know those who all are listening for, see, this is fast track batch, dear students. Still मैं बहुत efforts ले रही हूँ कि मैं आपको चीजें learn करा दूँ. But still, if you feel no, it's not clear, I would request you to watch the same video once again. The clarity will change. बहुत लोग, there's a feedback of many students. Sometimes the class is full clear, ma'am. Sometimes the class is clear but not learned. So when you feel that vacuum, little vacuum, go and watch the recordings in YouTube. Chalo. Left to right. 54. Sell the house, buy the house for individual HUF. Urban agricultural land for individual HUF. 54F for individual and HUF. Right? Okay. We can make an arrow mark here also. Yes? Right. I can sell a house and buy a house. I can sell a jewelry and buy a house. Clear or not? मतलब एक बड़ा घर खरीदना है तो I have sold the small house. So against house I have purchased another house. And for the remaining I could not meet up. I have sold one necklace and I purchased. I hope you are getting. Sale consideration of house. This is the sale consideration of gold ring. Sell both. And buy what? Sell the house, buy the house. Sell the gold, buy the house. Double deduction you cannot avail for the balance. That will be very clear when we solve the problems. Okay, right. Time limit if it is for construction and all, 1 year backward, 2 years forward for purchase, 3 years forward for construction. Yeah. And if it is bonds and all, I have done star mark with it. See, the example which I have given is from the past exam question paper. Ma'am, I did everything correct. You only said that they can sell the land and building and buy bonds. So I took the exemption for bonds. But when did they sell the land and building? 1st November. When did you buy the bonds? 31st May. कौन? 6 months time के अंदर bonds खरीदना है. Selling the house से. Or sell anything, yeah, and buy a specified mutual fund. Yeah, right. See, if it is revoked, then whatever you have revoked becomes taxable. All are short term. ये तो 2 years के more. If you hold the property, it will become long term. Now CGS is applicable in all the scheme. If you are not able to invest the money, then wait and invest it before due date of filing the return. Put the money in capital gain account scheme. It is just like a bank account, but from that bank account, promise that you will withdraw and purchase the house or construct the house like that. Only for these two, because we were live, मतलब 6 महीने के अंदर ही इन्वेस्ट कर देना है, तो they will not allow the capital gain scheme. This is one very nice amendment. Read it and see the cross multiplication of 54F. I have solved it here. Check the example and then take a break. And in the break, 5 minutes time is given for you to relax. And when you come back, you have to answer me. Can we avail 54 and 54F in the same context, in the same simultaneously? Huh? Right? Check करके बोलना है. Take 5 minutes break. Yeah, we are solving the problems now for exemption. No one is going to ask you the theory which I have taught you in 1 hour. We will be doing problems with exemption. 5 minutes break now. Okay? And then sit with your notebook and calculators. Okay, shall we continue? See, there are different ways. Like, I can teach exemption for 3-4 classes also. It's not a problem. But your DT is for 50 marks for IT. So not Zarat se zyada, not necessary to give over weightage to every topic. This is the way you learn it. Years I've been teaching, you will be able to solve the problems. And presentation is very important. Sale consideration, less transfer, net sale consideration, index cost of acquisition improvement, till capital gain it is correct. If suppose exemption goes wrong, suppose, then out of 7 marks you will get stepwise 5 marks. That's the benefit of this chapter. Are you getting? Yeah. So capital gain you should attempt in choice. It's a very nice chapter. And of course, it is vast this way. From day one, I am saying, okay, I have to take care of stamp duty, I have to take the date of transfer, say, and all. But when you repeat it, it will be clear. Okay. So as we start to solve the problems now, what I am saying is, what is 54? Sell the residential house, buy the residential house. 54F, sell anything and buy the house. Now, my question before break to all of you was, can I avail 54 and 54F both? Answer my question. What is 54? Sell the house, buy the house. What is 54F? Sell anything, jewelry, open plot, or anything, and buy the house. You can have one house, you can purchase one more house in 54F. Can you avail both? Yes or no? Waiting for your answers. I'm waiting. Dipti ma'am sab nahi padhate na. I'll work out the problems. But this I'm waiting. You have to answer. How? Just don't say yes, no, yes, yes. How? Can I sell the house and buy the house? 54. Right? Okay. Now, other than this, to purchase the house, I have sold the house and I've purchased another house. But house sold is 20 lakhs and house purchased is 80 lakhs. So along with selling the house for buying a bigger house, I have sold my jewelry also. So against jewelry also, can I avail 54F? Yes, not the same investment. How? Let us see. Okay, clear or not? What did I say? Huh? Can you avail 54 and 54F both? I'll work out the whole problem also for this. Second thing is, what's the difference in 54 EC and EE? 54 EC, sell land and building and buy bonds in 6 months. 54 EE, sell any assets and buy specified mutual funds. What's the similarity in 54G and GA? 54G is shift land, building, plant and machinery from urban to rural. 54GA is land, building, plant and machinery from urban to SEZ. So like this, you have to remember. What is 54B? Sell urban agricultural land. What you have to buy? Either urban or rural. 54D, compulsory acquisition, land, building in industrial undertaking. Shift, where the whole industrial undertaking shifting and buy their land and building. Whenever you are buying house, time limit is 1 year backward, 2 years forward, construction 3 years forward. Whenever you are buying bonds or those mutual fund, specified mutual fund, 6 months from the date of transfer. So like this, if you repeat, it will be clear. CGA scheme is available for all. Don't worry, if you are not able to make the investment till due date of filing the return July 24, you can put the money in bank and say promise coming 2 years I will invest. ठीक है ना? ऐसे. Yeah, please check the example. Immediately after the CGA scheme table, I have given one example. Why 54F सबसे अलग है? Everywhere long-term capital gain or investment, whichever is lower is exempt. But 54F, there is a formula. What does the formula say? Same. You have sold the jewelry for 100. Index cost is 75. Capital gain is 25. Investment in... Ma'am, 25 or 35, whichever is lower. Though you have sold the jewelry and purchased the house. 54F is sell anything and buy the house. So 25 and 35. Huh? Some of the students are, ma'am, can we leave this? Don't leave it. It's very easy. Huh. Now sale consideration was 100. Long-term capital gain was 25. Why did you invest only 35? So proportionate exemption only they will give. Followed? Yeah. Total investment in NHA and REC bonds cannot exceed more than 50 lakhs. Huh? Right. And then 3 years time limit and all. This is if exemption is revoked, how it works. Note number 5 in this part, we will do it later. If exemption is revoked. पहले थोड़े problem करते हैं exemptions के साथ. Routine problem for exemptions and then the problem for exemption revoked. Let us take up 26th problem now in class. लिखो सब लोग मेरे साथ. 26th problem we are doing now in class. Very easy. 26th problem. Yeah. Mr. India furnishes you following details and he has requested you to help him capital gain. He has a residential house inherited from father. The fair market value. See, when you get the property by way of inheritance, gift and will, you have to take the cost of the previous owner. And if previous owner is before 2001, you have to take the fair market value or stamp duty, whichever is lower. So here 5 lakh they gave. In the year 2015, he has done some improvement and house is sold for 50 lakhs. Expenditure in connection with the house is given. Okay, right. Now, when did Mr. India purchase the house? He got it by way of will from father. So you have to take the cost of the father. And his father inherited in 1999, he has purchased. And fair market value is 5 lakhs. When? In 2001. What was the index in 2001 and 200? And 23, 24, 348. 100 has become 348. 5 lakh is question mark. 100 has become 348. 5 lakh is question mark. So like this, you get the index cost of acquisition. After that, 2015, 6 lakhs rupees he spent and he did some improvement. When? 10 in 2015. So 15, 16, the index is 254, say 348. So 6 lakhs kitna? I hope you are getting. Cost of improvement multiplied by CII of the year of transfer divided by CII of the year of acquisition, like that. Yeah, right. So now sale consideration minus expenses, net sale consideration minus cost of acquisition, cost of improvement, you are getting long-term capital gain. So what Mr. India has sold? House. What he is purchasing in December 23? House. Which exemption he can avail? 54. Sell the house, buy the house. So capital gain or investment, whichever is lower. So 18 lakhs. So 587 is taxable. Final income you have to round off in the multiples of 10. Final tax you have to round off in the multiples of 10. Clear to all of you, right? So this is how you will solve the problem for exemption. Did you observe one thing? I will teach you. Exemption revoke मैं बिल्कुल पढ़ाऊंगी, पर ये समझ में आया कि dear students, till the time of capital gain, the problem is same as you're doing in the last 3 classes. Only where you invest, there it changes. Yeah. Ask any doubts if you have in the problem. Index rates you have to check and work out, and exam में they'll give you the rates. अभी तो आप सबको एक टेबल दिया है ना, वहां से you can check. Is this clear to all of you? Yeah, read the problem. Going in some sequence. I know I'm going in little different ways, but that's important. पहले capital gain के problem तो करे ना, फिर revocation भी आ जाएगा, है ना? So very nice problem from the past exam. Mark this problem as very important. I don't remember the attempt, but this is the level of the problem they are going to ask you for 7 to 8 marks. Chalo. Let us read it, discuss it, and then solve it. Mr. Faith acquired a residential house in January 2008 for 10 lakhs and made some improvement in October 2012. So this is routine index cost of acquisition and improvement you can do. He sold this house in 23 for 75 lakhs. What is the sale consideration? 75 lakhs. The value of the property, stamp duty value is 80 lakhs. Right? Okay. So now 75 lakhs or 80 lakhs. If you take the 10% difference, this is 65 lakhs. Actual sale consideration is 65 lakhs. Because if it is 10% difference, you have to ignore. You can't say ki stamp duty value or actual sale consideration, whichever is higher. I hope you are getting what I am saying. So what is the actual sale consideration? 65 lakhs. What is the stamp duty? 80 lakhs. So as per section 50C, which one you will take? Stamp duty value. See, if I take 75 lakhs, then 75 lakhs plus 10%. 7.5 lakh. 82.5 lakh tak. Till 82.5 lakh. Even if stamp duty is higher than the actual sale consideration, we'll ignore it. Actual sale consideration and stamp duty value, if the difference is up to 110%, ignore it. Clear? So now what will you take the stamp duty value? 80 lakhs. Now, what's the cost of acquisition? 10 lakhs in January 2008. Now, many students, they take 2008, na? 2008-9 index. Ma'am, I took wrong index. Array, if it is January 2008, you have to take 7 and 8. Purposely, I am not doing it in notebook because this has got some googlies. If you feel you want to practice in notebook, more problems, message me. We still have good time today and I'll do the tax liability part also. Ye dekho. 10 lakhs may you have purchased the house in January 2008. So you have to take 7 and 8 and 23, 24. 129 has become 348. 10 lakhs has become how much? Same way, October 2012. 2 lakh you have spent for improvement. 200 has become 348. 2 lakh is how much? Right. Long-term capital gain. Are you getting? What you have sold, dear students? House. Okay. Now, he acquired a residential house in January 23 for 25 lakhs. Matlab, you have sold it in October 23, but 1 year backward only you have acquired 25 lakhs. So can you avail exemption? You have sold the house first and then purchased another house. Sorry, you have purchased the house first, 1 year backward. Can you avail the exemption? Yes, bilkul. So 2023 May, you have purchased the house and you have sold the house also. So 54 exemption you will avail. Now, next. He deposited 20 lakhs in the capital gain account scheme in June 24. Gone. When did you transfer the house? October 2023. Say 6 months. November, December, January, February, March, April. April 2024 को खत्म हो गए. So 54 milega, 54 EC you will not get, dear students, because you have put the money 20 lakhs in June 24 and April 24, 6 months are over. For NHAI bonds, okay, for NHAI bonds purchased under 54 EC, deduction is not available as investment is not made within 6 months from the date of transfer. So you will not get. ठीक है? आ जाओ. Now, compute the capital gain. What would be the tax consequence if house property acquired in January 24, okay, is also sold? Now see, first you have sold the property and purchased the house. When did you buy the house? He sold in October, January 23. Now this house also, if he sells in January 24, we told you, no, once you sell the house, you buy the house, that house you should not sell for 3 years, otherwise exemption is revoked. But you have sold the house. So when this exemption is revoked, okay, the second house is sold for how much? 40 lakhs. What was the cost? 25 lakhs. So cost is to be reduced for exemption revoked. I'm teaching you a concept. Cost of acquisition is reduced till the exemption revoked. So cost of acquisition कितना है? 25 lakhs. Exemption revoked कितना है? 25 lakhs. So what will be the cost? Deductible nil and it's taxable. There's a different way of doing it. I'll show you, dear students. Option 2, Only for your understanding, in exam तो ऐसे ही करना है. If exemption is revoked, the second property is sold within 3 years, then the cost of the second property is reduced till the extent of exemption availed. ठीक है ना? ये 25 lakhs का exemption जो avail किए थे वो reduce कर दो. और second option क्या है? Second house sold for 40 lakhs. What was the cost? 25 lakhs. What is the short term capital gain? Anyone in the class is having doubt, ma'am, why is it not a short term capital gain? I'm say why it is a short term? Because within 1 year you have sold the property. So this is short term capital gain. Yeah, right. So you have sold the house and you have got this capital gain, and this 25 lakhs, this will also be revoked, no? तो ये 40 lakhs taxable हो जाएगा short term capital gain. फिर से एक बार, second house is sold for 40 lakhs, cost is 15 lakhs, and 25 lakhs exemption we gave you on a promise that don't sell the house for 3 years. You sold it, that's revoked. So 40 lakhs is taxable. Here how 40 lakhs is taxable? Cost of acquisition is reduced till the exemption revoked. Yes? Clear to all of you or not? Some of you are like, ma'am, can we leave the exemptions? No, dear students, you'll get it by practice. For sure. Chalo. This one, shall we do it in writing? After reading, don't check it here. Let us do it in writing. Question पढ़ लो. सबके पास है ही compiler. Roy owned a residential house in Chennai. It was acquired by Mr. Ray on October 2008 for 20 lakhs. Okay. He sold it for 53 lakhs. Stamp duty value is 70 lakhs. So which one you will take? 70 lakhs. SSE has paid brokerage 2% of the sale consideration. Though sale consideration you have taken 70 lakhs, brokerage 2% will be on the actual sale consideration. Mr. Ray acquired residential house in Nagpur, yeah, and deposited 5 lakhs in the bonds. Now, when did he sell the house? 4th November. 4th November plus 6 months. December, January, February, March, April, May. 4th of May तक पैसे डाल लेने. So they have put in 10th of October in bonds. Can they sell the house and buy the bonds? Land and building sell karo and bonds purchase karo. So 54 easy. See, this is a problem wherein you have just sold one house, but you are buying house also. You are buying bonds also. And so you can avail. 5 lakh more they have put on 15 June. Ma'am, 15 June is before due date of filing the return. Still, it will not be allowed. So, ये बिल्कुल नहीं मिलेगा आपको 5 lakh. Why? Because 6 months are over. And he deposited 4 lakh in July and 3 lakh in 111 in the CGA scheme. What's the time limit for deposit in the CGA scheme that promise we've sold the house, we'll purchase the house? Due date of filing the return. So is it deposited before July, 6th July 2024? Yes. Will you get the exemption? Yes. This 3 lakh is deposited on 111. You will not get. Some of you don't know that due date of filing the return. I think I've many times told you is July. Okay, before July, have you put 6 lakhs? You will get. 3 lakhs, you will not get. Followed? So like this, let us do this 30th problem in notebook. It will take little time, but it is having capital gain. It is having 2-3 exemptions in the same return. So let us do it in notebook. सब लोग साथ में करेंगे. कोई डाउट है पूछो. So many of you are live now, तो पूछो कोई डाउट है तो. Problem number 38. Computation of income of Mr. Ray. Particulars amount. Sale consideration. When you write sale consideration, I want you to write dates so that you remember the time limits. Actual sale consideration is 53 lakhs. Stamp duty value is 70 lakhs. As per section 50C, whichever is higher. Nice, easy presentation. फिर से sale consideration or stamp duty, whichever is higher. That or valuation officer, whichever is lower. Chalo. Less. Index cost of acquisition. This house was acquired in October 2008 and 9 for 20 lakhs. And now it is 23-24. 8 and 9 it was 137 and 23-24 we all know it's 340. What was available in 138 has become 348. So 20 lakhs kitna? I know some of you are seeing the answers in compiler. That's why abhi tak main kabhi print karke nahi deti thi. What do you think? Should compiler have all the answers? How much? Into 348 divided by 137. Very nice level of problems we are doing. So pay attention. What's index cost of acquisition? 50 lakhs, 80,000. What is index cost of improvement? Oh, did I miss taking the brokerage? Oh, thanks for reminding. सब लोग लिख रहे हैं कि नहीं? Why only one student is reminding I miss taking the brokerage? Brokerage is 2% for the actual sale consideration. 53 lakhs ka 2%. 1,06,000. That will give you the net sale consideration. Now let us do index cost of improvement. नहीं है, index cost of improvement है ही नहीं. We've just purchased it. So now directly we can calculate long-term capital gain. 18. Don't do rounding off now. कि 708 को 710 लिखेंगे. No. You've sold the house, you've got the capital gain. Now, immediately, Ray acquired a residential house. So, less exemption. Under section 54, he acquired the new house for 8 lakhs. Right? And he deposited 5 lakhs. Under section 54 EC. 54 EC send land and building and buy bonds. So REC bonds. Next he has deposited on 15th of June. That's not eligible. And then capital gain account scheme mein. So under section 54 CGA scheme, he has to put the money before due date of filing the return. So 6th July 2024, 4 lakh. Bilkul milega. Next, either you can write note or you can write here only. 1/11/2024. You have put the money in CGAS 3 lakh. Outer column में लिखना है not eligible. You have to put the money in CGA scheme before due date of filing the return. So here it is not eligible. Clear? Right? Even in bonds, what he has deposited 5 lakh, we can write a date 10/4/2024. Okay, right. Now what you get is called as long-term capital gain. Clear to all of you? Check the problem. Sale consideration as per section 50C. Though we have taken sale consideration as stamp duty, I am revising for all of you. If percentage of commission is given as transfer expenses, take it on actual sale. First chance of doing mistake. Second is indexation, take properly. Then you get capital gain. 54 may you have sold the house, you have purchased the house. You will get 54 EC, you have put the money in bonds. Within 6 months, you will get. Again in 54, you have put the money in CGA scheme, you will get. Again, one more time, not eligible. 3 lakh. As it is after due date of filing the return. Note. On 15th June 2024, rupees 5 lakh put in bonds, not eligible, as it's beyond 6 months from date of transfer. Date of transfer के 6 months के बाद, if you put the money in bonds, they are not eligible. Are you liking the quality of the problems? It's not important कि कितने करो. This is not a BCom exam. ये भी किया, वो भी किया. Clear? Anyone is having any doubt? Notes देखो कितने limited है. This also I could have written in note. That last date of putting the money in CGS is due date, that's 31st July. So if he puts in October or November, it's not eligible. Okay, right? Do more such problems as homework for exemptions. In between, whatever I have left, you can do. Michael Jackson sells the property which he has acquired in 1995 for 65 lakhs. Okay, no stamp duty, nothing given. Cost of improvement is also incurred in 1999. And after that in July. So this cost of acquisition, this improvement, all will be covered in the FMV. Yeah, but July 2016, if you do the improvement, we will take it. Expenses incurred 1 lakh. He acquired new house property in January 23. Okay. He has sold house. This problem is very E for easy, you can write. And he has purchased another house for 9 lakhs. So, pehle, he acquired the new house. Compute the capital gain assuming the FMV of the property is 10 lakhs. Because the house was acquired before 2001, can we take the FMV 10 lakhs? Yes. If they would have given stamp duty, then FMV or stamp duty, whichever is lower. See, even if the problem is not having adjustment, I am creating and explaining. I hope that's not confusing. So he has purchased the house in 10 lakhs. We have taken base year as 100 has become 348, 10 lakh kitna. So if you cross multiply, you'll get same way improvement. 2,80,000 improvement is done in 2016 and 17. So you get long-term capital gain. Now he acquired a new house for 9 lakhs. Sold the house, purchased the house, section 54. But this new house, You should not sell it now for the coming 3 years. Otherwise, exemption is revoked. Done? 32 problem is easy. You can do. Same, it's exemption revoked concept. आपको पता है ना? If exemption is revoked, you have to reduce the cost till the exemption away. That's what is the concept. Yeah, you have sold a house and a plot to buy a bigger house. अब देखो कैसे करेंगे. अच्छा problem है. 33 problem. Obama has sold a residential house which is self-occupied and a plot. He sells the house for 7,50,000 and plot for 5 lakh. There is no juggling of stamp duty value and all, as the concentration is on somewhere else. Are you getting what I am teaching you in 33rd problem? Mark this problem important, faith one important, one which I did orally. It's very easy. Sandeep, you can do it in writing at home. Now, what is important is I have sold the house to acquire a house. But by selling the house, I'm getting peanuts. I want to acquire a huge house. So can I sell one more asset, plot or jewelry and all? So house you sell, house you buy, 54. Plot you sell, house. Sell anything and buy house, 54F. This is the case if you observe closely. I was asking you the question, can you avail 54 and 54F both? Answer is yes. Dekho. Now read it. The house was purchased in January 17. So if it's January 17 for 4 lakh, you have to take 16 and 17. And you get the cost. And the plot on March 15. Yeah. Okay. He has purchased, he sold the house, which he has purchased in January 17. So 16 and 17 index was 264, 23 and 24, 348. 264 has become 348. 4 lakh is question mark, right? Okay. Please practice. What's the purpose of giving so many extra questions is to develop speed in the exam. If you know the concept and if you don't do writing practice, you will not be able to complete the paper. And like so many students are saying, ma'am, I got 58 marks in DT because I attempted 85 marks paper. Had I attempted 100, तो उसके लिए ये करने पड़ेंगे. And these problems, please let me know the timings. When you do homework, में these problems, surely you will not take more than 7 minutes to do the problem. Pakka. Chalo. So he sells the house and the plot. House was purchased in January 17 and plot was purchased on March 15 for 2 lakhs. Okay. So March 15 means 14, 15. There's a googly here. If you just look at March 15 and take 15 and 16, gone. Okay. March 15 is which financial year? 14, 15. 240 has become 348. 2 lakhs has become how much? So you get 2 capital gain. Now, he has purchased the new house for 4 lakh. So, घर बेच के घर लिया. You have sold the house and you have purchased a house. So 4 lakh or 222,728, whichever is lower. So 222,728 and done. Now, he has sold the plot and he has purchased the house. 54F. Sell anything and buy the house. Not for the whole 4 lakh. Out of 4 lakh, see this working note is beautiful. Out of 4 lakh, 222,728 is already availed as exemption. Out of 4 lakh, 222,728 is already availed as exemption. Huh? Still 177,272 is the cost of the purchase of new house not yet utilized. So can we utilize here in plot? Yes. अब plot का कैसा है देखो. Sale consideration is 5 lakhs. Capital gain is 2,10,000. Plot ka only plot. Your sale consideration is 5 lakh. Your capital gain is 2,10,000. Then why did you invest 177,272? You will get proportionate exemption. I want to repeat, every exemption is capital gain or investment, whichever is lower. Here also, capital gain or investment, whichever is lower. But for 54F, what is sale consideration or net sale consideration? 5 lakh. What's capital gain? 210. How much you are investing? 177. How did you get 177? Because already a part of house purchased is used here out of the 4 lakh. So here only remaining is eligible, that too in cross multiplication. So how much is 54F exemption 70? Can we put this in formula? 2,10,000 is the long-term capital gain multiplied by investment divided by the sale consideration. Don't multiply that, मतलब याद मत करो formula, logic से करो. If sale consideration was 5 lakh, why did you invest only 177? So proportionate will give, and those who have done average clause in insurance claims surely will relate. Stock is 4 lakh, loss is 50,000. Why did you insure it for 3 lakhs under insurance? You will not get the claim. Okay, right. Now this is a concept I'm just checking, and iske baad ek acha problem for the tax liability, 10 minutes more, and then last 3 minutes are for house property. So you need to wait for 10 minutes more. Huh? Simile has transferred 1 lakh equity shares. Now what's the concept here is, if they are listed equity shares and they are not covered by STT, then you have an option. Either take the index cost and 20% tax on listed equity shares not covered by STT, or without indexation 10%, whichever is beneficial. Are you getting? Listed equity shares है लेकिन STT पे नहीं हुआ, बहुत कम आता है practically, because nowadays all the listed shares security transaction tax is paid. But if it is not there, either you can pay 20% tax with indexation, or you can pay 10% without indexation and compare whichever is beneficial. There's one more problem I want you all to surely do it in your notebooks. Sur problem it is. Problem number 25. Nothing to explain. Oh. Nothing to explain from my side, but make sure you are doing it in writing and asking me if you have any doubts. Yeah? What will be simple problem? Hai? Sale consideration less expenses cost. If I have acquired the house from my father by way of will, gift, inheritance, I can take cost of previous owner. I can take indexation also of the previous owner. वो तो ठीक है. But if the house is sold within 3 years and if the index exemption is revoked, then cost of the acquisition is to be reduced with the exemption availed. Just do it. You will surely be able to do it. Chalo, last one now. If they ask you, yeah, this one is also asked for 3 marks. See, generally, if the agricultural land is sold, rural, इसका मैं gist बता देती हूँ. If agricultural land rural is sold, it is exempt. If agricultural land urban is sold, that capital gain is payable. But if urban agricultural land is compulsorily acquired by central government, for example, in Hyderabad, in the outskirts of the city, there's Shamshabad Airport. Okay, that airport is made on farmland, right? So that's an agricultural land, but within the city limits. So if that land is compulsorily acquired and government has given money, they don't have to pay the capital gain if it is compulsorily acquired by central government and they are paying the compensation. I want to repeat, urban agricultural land, when it is transferred, it is taxable. But if it is compulsory acquired by central government and an amount is paid by RBI, it is still exempt. This you can read and score 3 out of 3 marks. Very good quality, good questions I have taken that I am very sure of. Yeah. Share se related ek problem करेंगे. Yeah. This one is there in the material, but very interesting. Very, very interesting. Assuming we will do it, assuming his filing is written in the normal tax regime. Because if he files in default tax regime, then the tax will be 3 lakh to 6 lakhs, 6 lakhs to 10 lakhs and so on. And rebate will be up to 7 lakhs, total income 25,000 rebate, right? तो ये अच्छे छोटे छोटे examples है, we can check. Ajay, what's the total income? 2,40,000, and he is having the 85,000 capital gain. So basic exemption will be 250. So here it is 240. So 10,000 more unutilized basic exemption. Can he avail from the long-term capital gain? Yes. So taxable long-term capital gain is 85, but 10,000 is left now, so he can avail and 20% discount. Followed all of you? Now, what's the tax? 15,000, 20%. Will you give a rebate? Because the income is 250. Income is 250 and 85. It's less than 5 lakh. So you will give a rebate of 12,500. 2,500 is the tax, 4% and all. Okay, right. B is 67 and he is non-resident. Please remember, non-resident above 60 years will also have the same basic exemption. Wo 3 lakh basic exemption, super senior citizen 5 lakh, that's not applicable to non-resident. Clear? So non-resident, they have got listed shares. Yeah? Right. Kitna? 3,10,000 income hai. Right? What's the basic exemption? 250. Ma'am, but he's 62 years. But he's a non-resident. So 2,50,000. Yeah. And 10,000 from sale of listed equity shares, STT paid. This is exempt up to 1 lakh. Long-term capital gain on shares on which STT paid is exempt up to 1 lakh. And in 3,10,000, 2,50,000 तो आपको basic exemption मिलेगा. Remaining 60,000 पे 5% tax है, routine income 3,000. And you will not give a rebate. Ma'am, income is less than 5 lakhs. Will you give a rebate? Rebate under 87A is not available to non-resident. This is a beautiful problem to practice small provisions. So tax लगेगा 4% cess के साथ. C, 81 years, 5 lakh basic exemption. 590 income है. 60,000 from sale of agricultural land in rural area. So agricultural land, if it is rural area, exempt. Urban, taxable. Other income is 590. So 590 में 5 lakh तो exemption मिलेगा. Remaining 90,000, 20%. 0 to 250 nil. 250 to 5 lakh, 5%. 5 lakh and above 90,000, 20%. Yeah. Shall we give him a rebate? No. Because the income is exceeding 5 lakh. So directly on 80,000, 4%. Now D is a non-resident. Yeah. What is his income? 480. Normal income. So up to 250 exempt. Remaining 230 pay 5%. And on that says, ma'am, income is less than 5 lakh, but non-residents are not eligible for additional basic exemption. They are not eligible for rebate. Okay. So here we complete the capital gain chapter. I know today's class was like little thoda sa zyada tha. Concepts we have studied for exemption. We have practiced problem in writing. I've told you the examples that if exemption is revoked. And one table is given in the beginning of the chapter. I really want all of you to study that again and again. In that one amendment is there for the rebate, 2 minutes. And in between I have skipped some part which is not important. So I have skipped joint development of the property. Example is there, you can read on your own. One second, dear students. Very important to check that table. Yeah, this one. Just in the beginning of the chapter only I have given. Short-term capital gain on shares. Short-term capital gain on shares, it is taxable as 15%. Deductions are not available. Basic exemption is available. Rebate is available. Yeah. Long-term capital gain on shares on which STT is paid. Deductions are not available. Basic exemption, yes. And 1 lakh ke upar 10%. Short-term capital gain, routine slab rates and all, yes. Other long-term capital gain. Deductions ATC to ATU are not available. सिर्फ short term capital gain में available है. And this is taxable at flat 20%, slab rate, long term capital gain on shares, additional 1 lakh. This is all taught in basic classes. But what is important is in long term capital gain, there is no rebate. Long term capital gain में rebate मिलता ही नहीं है. Short term capital gain, because it's all yes, yes, routine tax, yes. Short-term capital gain on shares and long-term capital gain, additional surcharge rates, 25% and 37% is not applicable. So even if your income is 2 crore or your income is 20 crore, highest surcharge rate applicable for long-term and short-term capital gain on shares is 15%. Revise it, learn it. This example is also beautiful, how unutilized basic exemption works. And if you have any doubt, you can ask. Now coming to your question paper and doubt for unrealized rent, surely I'll clear it. Yeah, just give me 2 minutes. Are you all with me? Yeah, unrealized rent, ma'am. Please clarify the doubt. Where it will be deducted from actual rent or GAV? No. See, how do you follow the steps? Fair rent or municipal value, whichever is higher. Step 1 or standard rent, whichever is lower. Step 2 or actual rent, whichever is higher. So here you take ARR, actual rent receivable, and compare and take. I know actual rent is low because February and March, my tenant was staying in the house and he didn't pay me the rent. So that rent is unrealized rent. So still high, low, high. When we do step 3, you take actual rent receivable. Now whichever is higher, say actual rent receivable is higher, and that has become the GAV. So wahan pe unrealized rent you will reduce. Is it clear to all of you? You check my notes in booster notes twice. I have written unrealized rent will be reduced from GAV and not from actual rent receivable. Third step में minus नहीं करना. I hope your doubt is clear. Third step, you take actual rent receivable for 12 months and then deduct unrealized rent. अगर यही कम करेंगे तो actual rent will come low. And actual rent is low not due to vacancy. Actual rent is low because of the other things. Unrealized rent. I'm waiting. You were asking me 2 times, 3 times. I've cleared your doubt. Please ask this doubt in the Telegram, WhatsApp. There also with voice note, I will clear it. The doubt is clear. Capital gain chapter, today is Tuesday and coming Sunday. Coming Sunday you all want to write exam for business head or capital gain? क्या लिखेंगे? Business head ही लिखो, अच्छे से हो गया है ना business head complete. Right. ICF format I have checked. If you want, click the picture and send me. They are also taking like this only. In the third step, step 2 or actual rent receivable, whichever is higher. And from this, they will reduce the unrealized rent for sure. Any books you check, and if you feel it's different, yeah, please click the picture. What you are saying? ICI में जो format है वो इसको ही I am writing the steps like this, they write it like this. Fair rent or municipal value, whichever is higher, they write the answer here. Then this or actual rent, they write the answer here. So they are taking like this 3 column. Am I right? It's okay if you write properly the format like this also, you will get marks, beta. No, the answer will differ. Instead of unrealized rent here, if you deduct it here, the answer will differ. Because third step is step 2 or actual rent, whichever is lower. So actual rent will be less because you have reduced unrealized rent. ऐसे नहीं करना. Take step 2 or actual rent receivable for 12 months and then reduce the. What is unrealized rent? See, we have done one more concept. Is actual rent low because of vacancy? Then even though it is low, take it as GAIN. But here, unrealized rent is there. So unrealized rent is always deducted out of actual rent. Still, if you feel there's a difference, click the picture, send me in Telegram, give me some time. From morning, so much of schedule is going on and some more personal works are waiting. But by evening, I will surely answer. And thank you so much. Appreciated that you have been watching the lecture. Capital gain, Dipti ma'am से नहीं, किसी से भी पढ़ना आसान नहीं है. And teacher can make it very interesting and all, but उतना ज़्यादा मजाक मस्ती किए तो the class gets diverted and the gist doesn't go in hand. That's why I don't know how many times you have heard sell the house, buy the house, 54. Sell anything and buy the house, 54F, link. 54 EC and double E. Sell land and building, buy bonds, 54 EC. Sell anything and buy specified mutual funds, 54 double E. 54 G and GA. Shift land, building, plant and machinery, urban to rural, 54. 54 G, and 54 GA is shift urban to SEZ. So you are selling the land, building, plant and machinery here, and you are shifting inside a special economic zone where there will be zero taxes. Yeah. So like this, you make a gist, learn it, do in writing that source problem, which I told you, no? Capital gain, how you have to calculate, you are very clear. I know that looking at all your response, that capital gain chapter is very clear. Now you have to work as last part. And I don't know how many of you realized it took little patience for me to teach and for you. कभी कभी हम लोग ना ऐसे flawless चले जाते थे business head. Today it took efforts because I had taken little technical problem. You have sold the land and building, you have put the money in bonds. They say if you take 54 EC, it will go wrong. Then important was 54 EC time limit is within 6 months. CGS, you want to put the money, put before July. If you put in October and November, you will not get. So the purpose of taking these problems is this is a professional level of coaching. I've been teaching myself. I have studied excise duty and CST. Then came service tax. I have taught service tax for years. Now it is GST and custom. So while doing all this, it is very important that what level of coaching you are taking. And CA or CMA Inter is a superb base for final. Foundation is knock 200 marks mil gaye, aa jao. Somehow if you try to juggle and clear, you will be stuck up in final. Sorry to say this little harshly. That's why I take extra efforts. I make you also do extra efforts. My students, I don't know, watched Sarathi video of September and October 23. There my students have come in and spoken as pearls of wisdom. They're all the students of 2010, 13, 15, 18, 20 batch. Listen to them. If your inter base is clear, final, whether it is DT or accounts ke baad FR और FM के बाद SFM, it's going to be very easy. Okay, so with this motivation, we are closing the class. Prepare super well for business head exam this Sunday. Still, if you have doubt in unrealized rent, click the picture. कोई भी academy का material, कोई भी study material, कोई भी MTP of CMA CA exam, if you have a doubt, click the picture, send clear pictures in Telegram. I'll surely clear your doubt, right? So we are working on consistency, and that's why you all are attending these classes. Like so many of you are consistent with your job, you are watching the recording in the evening. God bless you. Or early in the morning. कुछ भी doubt है तो पूछो, कोई doubt छोटा बड़ा नहीं है. I'm working very hard in giving these free lectures. You work equally hard, right? All the best to all of you, dear students. Thank you. See you all tomorrow at 11. We are doing income.